All right. The silliness of dark matter. Again, there's another video I want to do because I still am so freaking ticked. I'm actually not ticked. I'm grateful. That's probably the right word. I'm grateful that I have a job that affords me the ability to read and research, whereas before I used to have to commute and work in some crappy old job for some crappy old boss for a petty state check. Sadly, most of you all can't do that. And you probably shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know what your circumstances are. But the issue is when we actually start realizing how much fraud has been perpetuated on us by the name of science, it's going to take you off, man. You're like, whoa, hold on just a second there, white coat guy who's never gone out of a laboratory. How the hell are you indoctrinating us for all these years? And they're indoctrinating us because they get you to work at some crappy old job, grind away. They'll do the thinking. You don't need to do the thinking. You just go along. You want your crappy old job to pay your mortgage, don't you? Yeah, I need it. And why do you have the mortgage? I need that nice house. Why? Because it's in a good school district. A good school district for what? To train my kids how to get a job like what I'm doing. Like what you're doing. Yeah, a crappy old job. Okay, so look, my kids are in public school. We moved here to a, quote, good school district, unquote. Turns out the reason it's a good school district is quite simple. 2-parent families. Shocking, huh? That's one what I'm looking at. I've been eating like crazy on blueberries, or blackberries out here. Oh, man. Wild blackberries. Oh, yeah. Hope it don't fall in my butt like it did last time. All right, so anyway, we go and we say that's what my book, Return to Peaks Island, was about, actually. One of the characters tells the other character, say, look, man, are you really raising your kids to follow your path and work in some crappy old job that's meaningless just to pay a mortgage for a house that you hardly ever are in? Because you're working so much, you're on the road, you're traveling? Is that the whole point? Oh, ping pong ball. And anyway, so I'm 51, man. I've been you. I might have to be you again. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I'm telling you, man, you start diving into some of this stuff with dark matter, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything you want to dive into, you start seeing there's a different point, a different perspective. Gravity, that's proven, huh? Dark matter is proven, huh? There's a guy on my YouTube channel. I'm sure he's a nice guy. And it still irks me. He says, Josh, you should stay in your lane when it comes to dark matter. It's been proven. Well, we can measure it. That's what he says. We can measure it. So we can measure it. We can't prove its existence, but we can measure it, can we? I didn't know you could measure something that you can't prove. But, man. Oh, man. Damn, dude. That's some good eating. This might be a jackpot. Problem is, I have to go in there and get destroyed by prickers. Man, that's why it's so good. Because the deer and the squirrels don't get them. The old buddy Josh will. Oh, baby. Happy Father's Day. So let's talk about dark matter. Can't prove it, but you can measure it. Can't grasp it, but you can measure it. How silly. Well, that's what those leading scientists say. So I'm reading right now my research. I'm going to write a book about the Carrington event. Because in EMPs, from a layperson's perspective, I'll do another video on that, but what a flipping clown show. That got everybody all fired up, myself included. Oh my goodness. We're all going to die from an EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Anyway, so when you actually have the time to research, to listen, to read, you have the time to say, other people had different opinions that have now been proven correct. And it takes a long time. Now, I always go back to Ignaz Semmelweis. You go back before him, obviously. You go back after him. There's 1,000 different guys and ladies out there who had different perspectives that was they're laughed at. Judith Curry comes to mind from Georgia Tech. Literally, she wrote a book on thermodynamics professor at Georgia Tech, a woman in science, right, because STEM, and they basically said, you got to go, Judy. Why? Well, because you're not towing the company line when it comes to government money. That's just what happened. And you can see this when it comes to electromagnetic pulse. You can see this when it comes to the Carrington event. You see this when it comes to sustainability. Yeah, it's just the whole thing is, and I'll prove it to you. It's not actually hard to do. It took me about 2 days. Like, now it's all come together. And all of a sudden I know her, Professor Carrington. Yeah, what's that guy's story? Oh, there's a story behind that guy. There's a story behind that guy, that's for sure. But anyway, it's interesting because, dark matter is the thing we can't prove, but we can measure, which is interesting. And that proves gravity is not a force, but it actually is a bending of the space-time continuum. Is it now? Are you proving that? Yeah. Anyway, so I'm reading in the early 1900s, Christian Susskind, or I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. I just came across it. I thought it was interesting. Basically, there's some kind of force that he was talking about, coaxial radiation. I can't remember off the top of my head. And the scientists of the day, they dismissed him by saying, no, all space is a vacuum. There is no energy or electricity in space, is a vacuum. And I'm literally butchering this because this is the first I've heard about him. I just watched 2 videos on this guy, and apparently now he's probably dead. I'm sure he is, but he's a cat's meow in terms of his theories. That heretofore, I love using that word, I don't even know it's the right connotation, don't care. But before, he was laughed at to the point he said, man, I need some money so I can do this research. So then he went into business, developing some stuff, and then he got money where he could do his research, which is pretty cool. Anyway, point being, this guy was laughed at. Christian something. I think it's from Norway. Yeah, University of Christiansborg, which is now Oslo. Isn't that weird? Why did they change Christiansborg, whatever it's called, Christiana, to Oslo? Why did they change that name? That's interesting. I did not know that. But it's pretty interesting. So here's a guy who's laughed at, sent packing, just like all revolutionary people are, because it upsets the apple cart of the incumbents. And now we have the incumbents who follow the Einstein model of dark matter. Space-time continuum, we can bend space-time. Whole thing is silly. Oh, I got a puppy. Oh, little puppies. Nothing cuter than a puppy. Anyway, so one of the best things about being self-employed or about not having a crappy old job is you can actually do the time that you've been forward to dedicate to other people, to be of interest to something you want to do, man. And that's what makes it so great. Because, I don't want to have to listen to some clown tell me how to run my business, run my life, be a yes man for this clown. I mean, if you have to sell your soul for rock and roll, you got to do it. But when you're free from that, man, it changes everything, which is why they all want you in debt. So you don't think for yourself. So you have to follow the people who think for you. And you don't have the courage to challenge them. Instead, you actually think you're smart by saying, no, dude, you should stay in your lane, Josh. It's been proven. What's been proven? We can measure dark matter. You can measure it? Yeah, mathematically. Oh, but you can't prove it exists. Well, still, And then the guy writes back, well, Google says, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Right-wingers do it too. So frustrating. All right, we'll see you.